So, welcome back to another episode of the Tech Experience podcast. So today we're going to talk about the most important thing in the AI race right now, and that's one of the biggest things that has been happening in AI. So this is where we talk about them. This is in the Tech Experience podcast. So a lot of things has happened over a few days ago, like you know them. So on the last episode we talked about AI in cybersecurity, AI in education. Those are the two previous episodes. So in this episode, we are going to cover something new and entirely different from what you have been doing. So stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. So if you're not subscribed, share, or you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, you comment, so that will not be passed. Or YouTube show will recommend to you our next episode. So yeah, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. So today we're going to talk about something you are familiar with it: open source versus closed source AI models. That you see, like the race, the closed models are the one which are paid for, and the open ones are the ones which are you just use the APIs from the internet or you host on your own machines. So 2 years ago, the AI conversation was simple. OpenAI and Google had the best model by wide margin. If you wanted good AI, you paid their API fees, accepted their terms of service, and sent your data servers in California. That's no longer true. Meta's Llama 4 model is free to download and achieves 71% on the most important coding benchmark. Cloud scores 77%. DeepSeek trend in China on Huawei chips, not even Nvidia, pulled off capabilities within striking distance of the frontier models. The model source AI ecosystem in 2026 is not the scrappy alternative it was 2 years ago. It is genuinely competitive field, and the question is no longer open source or closed. It is which one for which use case, owned by whom, and what does the choice mean for Africa. Welcome to episode 12 as we deep dive. First, a critical clarification: open source in AI model does not mean what it means. In traditional software, when people say open source AI, they usually mean open weights. The trained model parameters are publicly available for download. You can run the model yourself, you can fine tune it on your own data, but even weight does not mean open data. So you do not see what the model was trained on. It does not mean open training. You cannot reproduce the training run, and it does not mean open governance. Meta, Google, and Alibaba still decide what the model can do and cannot do, even when it's open source. So Meta Llama series is the most prominent example. Meta calls Llama open source. Many in the AI research community dispute that the license restriction, the non-disclosure of training data, and Meta's ability to revoke the license make it something closer to free to use under our conditions. This is not pandemic. If you build a product on Llama and Meta changes the license terms next year, you have a problem. If you build on OpenAI's API and OpenAI changes pricing, you also have a problem. The degree of freedom in either case is constrained. The question is constrained by whom and in what ways. Closed models, Cloud, GPT, Gemini benefits. No infrastructure needed, calls an API, gets results, updated automatically, absolute frontier performance. Drawbacks: your data goes to their services, you are subject to their terms of service, their content policies, the pricing changes, and their decisions about what the model will and will not do. If the company changes its mind, as OpenAI has done multiple times, you adapt or rebuild. Open-weight models like Llama, DeepSeek, Mistral, Qwen benefits: they run on your own hardware. Your data never leaves your premises. You can fine-tune it for your specific domain. A model fine-tuned on Kenyan legal documents will be far better at Kenyan legal questions than any general-purpose model. No, no per token fee, API fees at scale. This becomes an extremely significant economically. So drawbacks. So OpenWeights Llama DeepSeek. So the question is, should African business default to open source AI data for sovereignty reasons, even it means slightly lower performance? So how do we know which model are actually better? LM Arena, are also called Chatbot Arena, really users are shown response from two anonymous AI models and pick which they prefer. No model names, just two answers. The human vote are aggregated into Elo score. The same ranking system used in chess. Just models at the top are by this measure the ones the real humans prefer for real task. As of mid 2026, Gemini 3.1 Pro, Cloudopus, and GPT-5 variants are in the top tier. DeepSeek V3 reached an Elo score matching the best open source models, genuinely shocking the industry. The key caveat Chatbot Arena measures general preference across a broad user base. It does not measure performance on your specific use case. Use it as a directional signal, not a definitive verdict. So let me give you a direct practical answer for African developers and business proof of concept exploration or low volume needs. Use a cloud API, Cloud GPT, Gemini, ease of setup, and frontier performance is worth the cost of low volumes. Building a production system, la- landing sensitive data, financial information, health records, legal documents, government data, strongly consider open weight models running on your own infrastructure. Data sovereignty is not just a principle, it's a legal and a business necessity in regulated sectors. So African developers building for African users in African languages invest in open weights models. You can fine tune a Llama 4 Define model tuned on Swahili documents, Kenya legal corpus, or Yoruba literature will dramatic outperform any general purpose closed model for those tasks. Like Kitabu is doing all this, Msake is doing this, the capabilities there. The winning strategy is in 2026 hybrid closed model for exploration and variable demand, open so open weight models for score product systems where data sovereignty matters. So do not pick a side. Understand the trade-offs and build accordingly. So in episode 13, the AI coding was open code versus cloud code. So the tools rewriting how software gets built. So make sure you subscribe and tune in so not to miss out on this. So yeah.